Hey everyone, I thought I'd paint a ship in today's video, and it's going to be a ship that's sort of been wrecked or abandoned somewhere. And so for this I'm going to take a ruler and put a horizon line around 2/3 of the way up. And that's the only drawing I'm going to do. Now what I'm going to do is to take my Hake brush and I'm going to wet the whole paper down. Try to get it fairly wet because I want to sort of a wet into wet technique, and I'm going to try and mirror the reflection of the sky in the water, which is the 2/3 of the paper below. So what I'm going to do first is just take some yellow ochre, a sort of fairly light wash of yellow ochre, and just put it along in different places, and we can mirror it along here as well. And make it darker a little bit, just so it shows up. And now what we're going to do is take some cerulean blue and I'm just playing by ear here. I've got no reference photo. And now I'm going to add a little bit of alizarin crimson to that. Going with some blue. Now what I want to do is take the alizarin crimson and mix it with the blue, with the cerulean blue. And then what I want to do is take some Payne's grey what I want to do is take those bulldog clips out. A bit of a hair there, stray one, but it's starting to shed a little bit, but it's not so bad. Just move it because last time it caused a bit of an issue. Darken the ends a bit more here. I'm going to leave that as it is and let it thoroughly dry because I want to put some a sort of a mountain, distant mountain here, and I want to let that dry first. So let it thoroughly dry before we come back and put in a few land masses in the front. So now as you can see, it's dried a lot lighter. So what I want to do now is take some brown that I have and add some Payne's grey to it. And this is burnt umber, and I want to just put a sort of a mountain in the distance here, and it's not going to be too strong. We just wanted to give the semblance of something in the back there, just to wipe some of that off. Sort of standing here. As I said last week, it's a bit harder when you haven't got somewhere to sit properly. Just put some reflections in the water. Get that chiseled edge and draw a line there, just a sort of a distant line, just to distinguish it from the sky. Okay, now that mountain is done, I'm not going to do anything more with it because it's in the background really. But what I want to do now is put a sort of a landmass here and a landmass there, and then put the ship in. So let's get on with that. And I'm just going to take some colors out. And it's not going to be too exotic or too detailed. Let's put a bit of yellow ochre into that as well, to vary it up a bit. Let's take out a bit more Payne's Grey. I'm having trouble with my palette again. With the same brush, wet it a bit, and just put a few reflections in at the bottom. And we can darken some of the areas up again here with the brush and just soften it a bit. Soften the reflections, but we can still go back in and just add a few more accents. We can put a few more accents in later. And now we're going to tackle the mass along this side again. And now for this I want to use burnt umber again, just sort of varying the pattern. And I'm going to take it all the way across here. Some spray to that. Real blue. Then with the card, I'm going to scrape out some rocks, especially along the edges here. You can do them quickly. Now I want to add some burnt sienna to that. So take out a bit of burnt sienna just to vary the color. Ochre to that. We can scrape a little few things. Now we're going to paint the ship. Now for the ship, I want to start off using a bit of alizarin crimson. I know it sounds weird, but what I want is for it to look a little bit rusty. Now I don't know if it's going to work, but let's, I'm not sure how to paint rust. I think you put red into it and just add other colours on top. See? Sort of coming along here, like that, and along there like that. I'm going to use burnt umber. Paint spray to that as well. It's going to look rusty now. Okay, never mind. It doesn't matter. I want it to sort of go in there because it sort of hit the side of the land there. It's wet, so I can't do anything with it yet. Now we take the rigger . To do a little bit of lifting. Now we could also use tissue . Here for the border of the ship. I'm adding blue here. Take the card again because I want to just scrape out some of the rocks that might have come off, because what I want it to look like, it's something. It's a big one because I want it to sort of act as a stop for the boat, like that. And now what I want to do is carry on adding a little bit of detail to the boat. I mean, I don't really know that much about boats, sort of seen pictures. Fine work here. The biggest thing is the masts. You know, those are the biggest things that that's the most difficult one to do, really. I'm not sure what goes on here. Let's just make it look like it's something. I don't know what. I want it to look like curve underneath. Let's use the card just to scrape out a little few things here. Extra detail, and the scratches will actually might actually help to give it some definition. A few more details there. There's some shadows. The boat. Of the ship or whatever. Now I'm going to put in the masts. Well, hang on, let me just add a bit more detail here. Just flicks and flicks here. I don't know what it is. I have no idea. I've never been on a boat, and I've not. I don't know what goes in these things. Maybe we can add a bit of red to that. Just a little bit of red, with the rigger. To the bits that we highlighted. I don't know, maybe it'll give it a rusty sort of effect, I don't know. I want to go in and add some definition to these distant and this sort of landmass that's further away. Maybe add a bit of, just wet it a little. Again, we can use the rigger because it's handy. And just add some reflections underneath that. And I still think it needs a bit more definition, so we can go back in with the blue. Yeah, that's better. And add a bit more to distinguish the land from the water. Some shadows under those rocks as well. Still think it needs a bit more, so let me just squeeze out a bit more. Now what I want to do is I'm going to take a pen and just to add the masts and things. It'll be quicker. You can use the rigger, but I'm going to use this. So what we can do is let's just take it from here and bring it down here. That, and it's got a sort of a line, and I'm going to make it go right above the mountain over there. Darken that a little bit actually with maybe use a black, not this because it's not showing up. Okay, let's do that again. Yeah, it's showing up better now. That's just not showing up the other one. Let's use the other side first for the thicker ones. I like that. And then there's a sort of a thinnish one going across, going around the back. Make this come forward a bit more. I don't know what they're sticking to. And we have a smaller one sort of coming along here. And we can add a bit of more definition along here with the pen. If you feel that you still need to add a bit more, you can still go in with the rigger and some blue. Thing to lean on, so I'm a bit unstable here. You can go back in and add a bit line work. sure if there's anything missing here now. Anyway, let's take the rigger. Where's the rigger? And put a bit of a distant sort of a line there, distinguishing the landscape, sorry, the sky from the water. And let's just put a bird in there, or two. So here we are. Here's our stranded boat. I hope you find that interesting. Do consider subscribing if you did, and give this video a thumbs up, and leave that valuable comment as well. And if you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so, as all of these helps with the YouTube algorithm. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you.